upon the best of creation, the crown of creation, the jewel of creation, the beloved of Allah Almighty, the coolness to our eyes, the purpose of our life, the reviver of our hearts, the inspirer to our minds, the awakener of our souls, the most honored one, the most praised one, the most revered one, undoubtedly the most beautiful one, none other than Sayyiduna wa Nabiyyuna Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa barak wa sallam. We are currently living in testing times. We are living in difficult and hard times. And day by day it is becoming more and more difficult for Muslims to practice their deen and religion in the current world that we are living in. And the Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam in a number of ahadith informed us about the tests and tribulations, the difficulties that his ummah will go through. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam informed us about this before they left this world. And Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam informed us about everything that shall happen until the day of judgment. And this is all within the knowledge of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that was bestowed and granted to them by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam from Allah Almighty. And Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam informed the Sahaba about the signs, about the events, about what will happen all the way until the day of judgment. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam informed them about the signs of the day of judgment, the major signs and the minor signs. And from amongst the minor signs, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that towards the end of time, fitans, tests will increase, tribulations will increase, alcohol will be on the increase, adultery and fornication will be on the increase. Men will begin to wear gold and silk. A man will respect his wife more than he will respect his own mother. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam informed us towards the end of time there will be big masajid but nobody will be inside. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam informed us that towards the end of time, before the final hour, signs such as a man will be respected out of fear of him. People will respect others because they are scared of them. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam informed us that towards the end of time, men will dress like women and women will dress like men. Towards the end of time, signs will appear where a man who is renowned for lying will be deemed as truthful, and the one who speaks the truth will be deemed as a liar. Ignorant individuals will become leaders of nations. Islam said towards the end of time, practicing Islam will become so difficult that a Muslim brother will pass by his brother's grave and will say, "Oh Allah, I wish I was in his place at this moment in time." Towards the end of time, the ratio of man to woman will be 50 women to 1 man. That there will be more women than men. Towards the end of time, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam informed us signs such as the fear of Allah Almighty will leave the hearts of the people. Towards the end of time, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam informed us of signs such as a person, it will be so difficult for him, a Muslim, to practice Islam, just as difficult it is for an individual to hold hot coal in his hand. Imagine holding something very hot in your hand. What will you do? You will let it go so that you don't burn. What will a man do? A man will let his iman and deen go because it will be so difficult for him to practice Islam. Towards the end of time, these signs will appear. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us about these signs. And it is sad to say that we are living in that time now. We are living in the time where fitnas are increasing, where alcohol is being sold by Muslims. Muslims own off licenses. We are living in a time where men are wearing gold, especially on their wedding day. How many guys will you find on the day of their wedding will put gold on? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that gold and silk is haram for a man. Why? Because it is halal for him in the akhirah. Do not make what is haram in this dunya halal. And do not make what is haram in this dunya and halal in the akhirah halal for yourself. For you'll be deprived of this in the akhirah. In the akhirah there are no laws. There is no sharia that will govern. Those who are in Jannah are in Jannah. Those who are in the fire of Jahannam are in the fire of Jahannam. There, alcohol will be drunk by those who are in Jannatul Firdaus. Here it doesn't mean that they'll be getting high. No, this doesn't mean they'll be going on some binge drinking nights. No, none of that. Here what it means is sharab al-tuhur. The pure drink of Jannatul Firdaus will be supplied to them. And Allah Almighty will please them through this. But in this dunya, it is made haram for us. Sad that towards the end of time, our brothers and sisters, unfortunately, are going to nightclubs and drinking, going to nightclubs and dancing. They are going in the wrong direction. And these are the fitnas and the tests of the time that we are living. Islam will become so difficult for Muslims to practice that Imam will eventually leave their hearts. And there will only be a few that will remain who will be strong on their Iman. And when it will become so testing and difficult, what will end up happening, time will come that it will become so difficult, so hard for Muslims to practice, that the ones who have Iman, they will want to be living in secret. They wouldn't want to live in the dunya that they are living. And when all the minor signs have come, then the major signs will begin. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us what the major signs are. Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam said that Imam Mahdi will appear. Then the Dajjal will arrive. And Sayyidina Isa alayhi salam will descend from the heavens. And then Ya'juj and Ma'juj will come. And the sun will rise from the west to the east. Whereas normally it rises from the east to the west. But it will rise from the west till the east, from Maghrib till Mashriq. طلوع الشمس من المغرب or من مغربها, that the sun will rise from the west to the east. And major signs such as Dawatul Ard, the beast of the earth which Allah talks about in the Quran, that will have the ring of Sulaiman alayhi salam, and will have the asa and staff of Musa alayhi salam, and he will mark the foreheads of the believers and mark the foreheads of the non-believers. And then the dukhan, the smoke will come, which will, the entire world will be filled with smoke. And then the major earthquakes will occur, one in the east, one in the west, and one in the Middle East. And then Allah Almighty will give command, after the major signs have appeared, when there will remain not a single person on this dunya who will say La ilaha illallah, not an individual who will do the dhikr of Allah Almighty, it is then that Allah will command the angel, now blow the trumpet, let the final hour end, and now let the day, let the entire cosmopolitan, the universe, everything, the cosmos, the entire system, let it all be destroyed. After 40 years of the first trumpet being blown, the first time the trumpet will be blown, 40 years after, the angel will be commanded to blow the trumpet for a second time. And then everyone shall rise from their graves. and they will stand on the Ardul Mahshar, on the land of Mahshar, the plains where you will be questioned, where we will be reckoned, and for 50,000 years we will be running around wanting the day of Qiyamah to begin. And eventually, for those who believe, it will be like 2 units, 4 units of prayer. For those who don't believe, it will be like 50,000 years that day. For those who are sinners, it will be like 50,000 years. The sun will be a mile and a half above their heads. They will be naked in such a state that they will not know what is around them. They will be running around in a frenzy, blind, lost. And then they will come to a point where one by one they will go to each and every prophet. And they will ask, intercede for the entire creation, so that the day of judgment may begin. It is too difficult for us to bear the heat of the day of Qiyamah. Too difficult for us to stand here. Let Qiyamah begin, let the day of questioning begin, let it begin. And one by one they will go from every single prophet until they arrive at Sayyid al-Awwaleen wal-Akhirin, Sayyid al-Anbiya wal-Mursaleen, Sayyidina Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. Rasulullah alayhi salatu wassalam will say, Ana laha, Ana laha. So today is the time. It is for me that I may intercede. And the ulama have described that this intercession is ash-shafa'atul uzma. This is the grand intercession that every single creation of Allah Almighty will benefit from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They will have no option but to ask the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam for help on that day. They will have no option but to ask. Allahu Akbar. The day of judgment then will begin. Rasulullah will intercede for those who are in the fire of Jahannam, who have even an atom's worth of iman. Rasulullah will intercede for them. Then people will be questioned. Then the mizan and the scale. Then the passing murur ala sirat. The passing over the pul sirat, the bridge which is, some say, through the fire through Jahannam, others say over Jahannam. What is guaranteed is that each and every one of us will have to walk past this. Those who have done good in their life, it will be quickly, they will pass by quickly. Those who have done bad in their life, they will stutter and struggle. They will struggle to get past. Then the weighing scales where your deeds will be weighed. You will receive the book of deeds either in your right hand, and he who receives it in his right hand will be entering into Jannatul Firdaus. O Allah, make us from amongst those who receive our deeds in our right hand, and not those who receive it in the left hand and behind their back. For the one who receives it in his left hand or behind his back, it is a sign that he is destined for the fire of Jahannam. Allahu Akbar. Then once the day of Qiyamah, once all matters have been settled, the wrongs that have been done have been settled, everything, then Allah Almighty will command that death be brought forward. And death will come in the form of a ram. It will come in the form of a ram, and it will be slaughtered in front of everyone. And a voice will call out and say, after today nobody shall taste death. Yani everyone shall live eternally. You who are in Jannatul Firdaus will remain in Jannah. And those who are destined for the fire of Jahannam are in the fire of hell, they are in the fire of hell. And then, Khalidina fiha abada, they will remain in Jannatul Firdaus forever. And those who are in the hellfire shall remain in the hellfire forever. What's the good news? The good news is this: the one who sincerely reads La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah, sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. The good news is this: that maybe we might go to the fire of Jahannam. We might go to the fire of Jahannam, be punished for our deeds. And we make dua to Allah that through the intercession of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah protects us from this punishment. That we do not taste the punishment of the fire, of Jahannam, of the hellfire. But there will be some who have Iman, who believe they will be in the fire of Jahannam, and then eventually will go to Jannatul Firdaus. One guarantee, Rasulullah said that I was given an option. Allah Ta'ala gave me an option whether to have 1/3 or half of my ummah forgiven or to intercede. And Rasulullah said, I chose the option of intercession.